Okay, this is chapter 15. It's confession time. We set Trent up with the oxygen and he crawls deeper into a hollowed out bush to get some sleep. He totally hasn't earned the right to have the next nap, but to be honest, we're all sick to death of listening to the rubbish that comes out of his stupid mouth, and we're looking forward to some time to chat amongst ourselves without his smug comments. Kat, Aid, Mac and I all climb up the lookout tree and find the comfiest branches to sit in, which isn't easy because branches weren't made to be comfortable for humans. We have Dale's notes with us, but they're just a bunch of meaningless squiggles. They'd be hard to work out on a good day, but by now we're so tired we can't think straight. We've got no chance of getting anything useful from them. You feeling all right, Katja? I ask. Surprisingly, I feel fine, she says. Apart from the tiredness and the hunger and the blisters and stuff. How about you guys? Same, says Mac, yawning like a lion. Do you want the next sleeping slot, I say? No, Adrienne should have it. Why should I have it, Adrienne asks. Is it because I'm a girl? Well, Mac's absolutely stumped. I'm pretty sure there's no correct answer to this question. Look, I'm not as tired as you, so it makes sense that you go first, she says. Unless you need to, Lance. No, I'm okay. I'm used to managing on hardly any sleep. I mean, I'm tired, obviously, but I can wait a bit longer. So is this CPAP machine yours? Mac asks. I can't see him because he's on a higher branch than me and hidden by the leaves, but I can hear in his voice that he's nervous about asking. How do you know about CPAPs, I say. Well, I've done a lot of first aid training, Mac says, among other things. What's a CPAP? Kat asks. Is that the oxygen mask thingy? Yeah, it's a breathing regulator, says Mac. The gadget attached to the tube makes sure the airways are kept open so breathing is stabilized. They're used by people with sleep apnea, I say. This is part of the secret I've been hiding for all these years. Look, I have sleep apnea. When I try to sleep, my breathing stops, and then I jump awake. The hospital gave me the CPAP machine so I can get some proper rest. I can't sleep without it. So that's why you never go to sleepovers, Katja says. Yeah, it's one of the reasons. What's the other reason? Aid's up on the branch with Mac, and I can imagine them looking at each other, making faces, raising eyebrows at loser Lance and his weird sleeping habits. But I'm too tired and too much has happened for me to bother hiding stuff from them anymore. My mum has Crohn's disease. I pick at my nails, which are black with dirt. She got it when she was pregnant with me, and it makes her really sick. She goes into hospital a lot, and she can't leave the house all that much. So you don't like people staying at your house, Mac says. There's a moment of quiet. Why didn't you tell us? Katja's sitting on the branch next to mine, and I can tell she's looking right at me, but I don't look back. Because I didn't want to intimidate you with my coolness, I say. The branch above me rustles. Do you want to know how I know so much about first aid and survival skills and tracking? Mac says. Yeah, I have been wondering about that. I risk a glance over at Kat. She smiles at me, and not in a weird way. In the same way she always does. Like everything's safe and warm. You know how every summer I tell you I'm going to Lithuania to see my family, and I can't contact any of you because they don't have Wi-Fi? Mac's family has been spending a whole summer in Lithuania for as long as I can remember. And you said nobody there has mobile phones, says Kat. Yeah, well, that's not strictly true, says Mac. We do go to Lithuania, but not to see family. My mum and dad are preppers. Preppers? Adrienne says. They're getting me and Zuzi's Mac's little sister, ready for the end of the world. Wait, what? I've never heard Adrienne so confused. Look, they think there's going to be a third world war or a global disaster or something. Or some zombie apocalypse. Or some massive event that will destroy the world as we know it, he says. So they built a bunker in the countryside in Lithuania. It's like 3 stories underground. It's got electricity, a bathroom, it's got kitchen and bedrooms, and it's full of stuff. Everything we need to survive on our own for years. As far as bunkers go, it's totally legit. So you go there every summer. I ask. Yeah, my parents take it really seriously. We're totally off the grid, not allowed any contact with the outside world, and they teach us to build fires and hunt for stuff. Isn't Zuzi only in reception? Katja asks. Doesn't mean she can't snare a rabbit. Whoa, says Aid. It must seem kind of insane to you guys, right? Mac asks. His parents seem so normal, and so I had no idea. Do you want to know why I'm so good at climbing? I look over at Katja, but she's concentrating hard on braiding hair. Yeah, I say, because let's face it, we've all been wondering. I was taken into care when I was really little, she says. My mum couldn't look after me. She tried, but she couldn't. Oh, Kat, Adrian says. I didn't know this. Nobody does. Kat unbraids her hair and starts all over again. I was in a home for a while. It smelt funny and the bed was hard. My room felt a lot like prison and I hated it. So I ran away, over and over again. And then they put me in a foster home, and I hated that too. I got really good at climbing out of windows and escaping across rooftops. She smiles in this way that makes her eyes twinkle. Eventually, I went to a foster home that I liked, and my foster mum adopted me. So everything turned out fine, but for a few years there, climbing was the only thing that made me feel better. I really want to hug her, but that's not easy to do when you're perched on separate branches in a massive tree. I can't believe you guys have been keeping these huge secrets for so long, Adrian says. I mean, I would have thought you would have shared this stuff with each other. I understand why you wouldn't want to spread it around the school, especially with idiots like Trent around. So what's the story with you two, I say. We all thought you and Trent were besties, being head boy and head girl together. Nope, I've never liked him, she says. I used to tolerate him, but then... What happened, Max says. Oh, look, I don't want to say. Oh, please tell us, Aid, Katja says. We've told you our secrets. Tell us, I say, and then we all start quietly chanting, tell us, tell us, tell us. Fine, but this story had better not leave the base camp, or I will hunt you down and kill you. We promise, I say. You can trust us. It's not like the stuff you guys have been through, she says, but it was the worst moment in my life. It happened in year 5. It was half term, and my mum got a call from Trent's mum saying he was having a last-minute birthday party and that he'd really like me to go. I don't remember him having a birthday party, Max says. I mean, obviously we wouldn't have been invited, but he definitely would have made sure we knew about it. One of Trent's favourite things was to make me, Chets, Mac and Kat feel really left out. I didn't really want to go, but my mum made me feel guilty and said at least I'd get to see my friends, so I agreed, Adrian continues. Of course, none of us had phones back then, so I couldn't check with anyone. I'm liking where this is going, I say, and I look over at Katja to see her grinning. So the next morning, my mum drops me at this posh spa hotel. Trent's mum meets us at the door and tells my mum to collect me at 7. That's 5 hours, I repeat. 5 hours from the time I get there. The first part of the... That's 5 hours. I repeat, 5 hours from the time I get there. The first part of the party is in the pool. So I go and get changed into my swimming things and go to the pool expecting everyone from school to be there. She takes a breath. But there's just Trent and his entire family. Not just his mum and dad and older sister, but aunties and uncles and cousins and me. I keep looking at the pool entrance, thinking any moment my friends are going to walk in, or at least somebody I know. But an hour ticks by and I realize that nobody else is coming. It's just me. And the Trents, Max sniggers. And I'm not happy about it, but I don't want to upset Trent's mum, so I just go along with it. I swim some laps and I play politely with the inflatables. This is one of the best stories ever, says Katja. Then after swimming, we all get into the hot tub thing, Aid says, and we sit there chatting with these drinks, all of us in a circle. I'm willing the time to pass quickly, but it feels like forever. Then finally we get out and we get changed. Please say it's not over, I say. Oh, it's not over yet, Aid says. And I can imagine how pink her face is. We go into the hotel restaurant and they booked a huge table for all of them, and it's decorated with balloons and sparkles and birthday banners. I go to sit down, but the waiter says, "No, no, mademoiselle. We have a special table for the birthday boy and his girlfriend." Kat lets out a little squeak of a giggle, and I squeeze my lips shut so I don't laugh. Next to the big table, Aid says, is another small table with 2 chairs, she pauses. "Go on," Max says. Another breath. and a rose and a candle. Katja is shaking with giggles. She's trying so hard just to keep them in. I put a twig in my mouth and bite down hard, anything to keep from laughing. Mac makes a noise that is half laugh and half cough. The whole family is saying how sweet it is and taking photos of us. "Hold hands," they say, and I am dying inside and I wish I'd drowned in the swimming pool. There's no holding it in now. We are all laughing so hard we nearly fall out of the tree. "It was harrowing," Aid says. "So what did you do?" Mac asks. "I got up and I ran into the reception of the hotel and I started crying." Even Adrienne is laughing now. "Trent's mum called my mum to pick me up and I sobbed all the way home." We laugh so much that the whole tree shakes and bits of leaf and twig drop through the branches like confetti. "Oh, we'd better wake Trent up," I say. "We don't know how long he'll have before the bug eyes come and we all need some sleep." "Maybe he's been eaten by bears," Aid says hopefully. Dale did say something about bears, remember? Right after he asked for water. I wonder what that was about. Katja gasps and starts flicking through Dale's notes. "I did see something. A picture," she says. "Here it is." She leans over and shows a pencil sketch of a creature that looks like a cross between a woodhouse and a... She leans over and shows me a pencil sketch of a creature that looks like a cross between a woodlouse and a hippo. Underneath is written, "Water bear," and it's underlined about 8 times. "What the hell's a water bear?" I say. "It's another name for a tardigrade," Mac calls down. "Let's see the pic." A hand is thrust down through the leaves and I pass him the paper. "Yep, that's a tardigrade," he says. "It looks terrifying," says Adrienne. "I hope they aren't lurking around here." "Well, first of all, they're tiny," says Mac. "You can only see them through a microscope, kind of like the alien spores. And second, they're actually awesome. They can survive the most extreme conditions and they live off stuff that would kill other species. They eat the bad bits of things, the rotten parts, and leave the healthy parts behind. Like they can purify water, for example." Okay, this is interesting. My brain's fighting through its sleepy fog, but I'm sure there's something here that we can use. "Guys," Adrienne says, and a branch above me creaks. I think she's climbing higher up. "Can you get any higher, Katja?" Katja leaps up the trunk and out of my view, like some kind of tree-climbing ballerina. "It's them," she says. "Hosh, Digger and Chet's. They're spread out through the trees and heading this way." "Damn, they're sweeping the woods," I say. "Everyone, climb down as quickly and quietly as possible. We'll grab our stuff and go." "We'd better wake Trent," Katja says. "Or we could leave him." Adrienne climbs down to my branch and then drops to the ground. "Ooh, bird poo," she says, and wipes her hands on Trent's backpack.